guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the latest video single for Morse Principium Est, My Home, My Grave. And before we click start on this, I want to give out some information to the audience at home for the people that are not aware that perhaps are sitting at home or getting ready to move into their grave, whatever the case might be. I'm not here to judge. Mr. Andy Gillian is releasing his own personal Patreon page. And the way he broadcast that news to the world was by posting a picture of him in a silk robe, almost like Hugh Hefner, but in a hammock. And you can't tell if he's naked under the robe or if he's not naked. It's very, like, it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he announced that he's going to have his Patreon page, and there could be some X-rated or perhaps rated R content on said Patreon.
This doesn't sound like a Patreon to me, though.
I think he's going to get shut down fast.
It sounds like an OnlyFans.
I agree with you. I don't understand why he didn't start an OnlyFans.
He could have started an OnlyFans.
I think it would be a lot more popular. I mean, who doesn't want to see Andy Gillian jiggling his titty bits? I would gladly pay $10 a month for that. You know, I'm not even judging.
$10 well spent.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw the picture, I technically got slightly wet, I must say. So, on that note, Morse Principium Est, My Home, My Grave. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. You can go first, because if once I start talking, I'm not gonna shut up.
Yeah.
I have a list the size of the Chris Jericho's list of how many moves he had.
I feel like you're gonna repeat yourself, kind of like the list.
That's gonna be the length of this list. All right, what do you think?
That was some expert guitar playing.
Okay, sorry.
Absolute badassery guitar playing. I don't know how he does it. I really don't know how he does it.
It has such a distinct, the way he plays guitar, there's nobody else that plays the way he does, that has the sound that he has. The moment I hear a note, I know I'm listening to Andy Gillian on the guitar. This guy should have released a solo album. Oh, never mind. He already released a solo album. So maybe a second solo album he needs to release. Can I start now?
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with this song. This guy is one of the most underrated guitar players in general. I'm not talking even about metal, in general. All right? This band lives off of his inspiration. I have no doubt about that. There's nobody that can create a track like this, and then not only create the track, deliver it and execute it this way.
Yeah.
You can now give this song to a very good guitar player and ask him to perform it, and a good guitar player will be able to do it. But to come up with it,
that's a whole different.
It's a whole different ballgame. Andy Gillian is a huge part, huge part of Morse Principium Est. There's a lot of bands out there that live off of one element. Like there's one predominant element that drives the sound or drives the execution forward, right? We can go band by band, and
you'll find
there's always one guy within the band
that has
the motor.
He's more than just the instrument player.
Exactly, he's more than the bass player, the singer, the guitar, whatever the case might be. He's the driving force
behind the band.
Behind that band. I'll give you a quick example. When Anton left Battle Beast, a lot of people thought that, wow, what's going to happen to Battle Beast? Because he was the motor of that band. And then he went to Beast in Black, and we can all see what happened with Beast in Black. So almost every single band has that member. That guy that's the driving force, that the moment he leaves the band, that band never regains that same power, that same strength that they had when that guy was in it, right? Morse Principium Est, in my opinion, humble opinion, that is, lives off of the creativity of Andy Gillian. One day, hopefully it will never happen, but one day, if he decides to move on to bigger and greener pastures, if you will, what's going to happen to this band without an Andy Gillian in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can replace a drummer, you can replace a guitar player, you can replace a bass player, you can even replace a singer.
Sometimes replacing a singer goes...
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. But it has happened through the history of metal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Iconic bands have replaced their singers. You know what I mean? So it has happened. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But when you lose that motor, that inspiration, that pushes the band to have this presence of sound, of experience...
without that, it's hard to get back up.
It's hard to get back into that level. It really is hard to get back. Nobody is unreplaceable, but some people are harder to replace than others.
Yeah.
Let me just leave it like that. That's what I have to say about Andy's presence in this band. How much of a fingerprint this band has of his. You know what I mean? Not to take anything away from Ville, but the guy who creates the music and then executes that said music deserves a lot of credit and a lot of respect. And in my opinion, Andy Gillian has all my love, all my respect.
I will be subscribing to the Patreon.
I'm gonna hold up until he does the OnlyFans.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like my money is gonna go further
with the OnlyFans.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna get a bigger bang, if you know what I'm saying, for my buck. But this track is magnificent. Yeah. Now that I got that off my chest, this track is magnificent. That opening, that Power Wolf piano opening,
and it stays throughout
it stays throughout the whole song.
That very haunting piano just stays throughout the whole song, and it's like the guitar. It's like they're neck and neck.
I know, and normally I'm not a big fan of that because I'm going to keep on harping on this, that a lot of bands now overly use these
Piano and
synthesizers, and it's starting to really wear me down.
But it's because sometimes they use it in spots they're not supposed to, or the song just doesn't call for it, but they use it anyways. This song calls for it.
I think that there's even another thing is when it's used and
But
it overshadows
and it
overshadows everything else that's happening.
Yeah.
Here, that melody,
it's kind of like in the background.
But even when it moves to the forefront, it doesn't surpass the guitars. It's neck and neck with the guitars.
Yeah.
The two of them are like jousting to see who gets the supremacy, and neither one of them gets the supremacy. They're both like neck and neck all the way through the song, and that's what makes the song so like outrageous. This track is filthy. I honestly, it's hot in the house. I honestly need a shower. But regardless, after listening to this song, I feel dirty. Like listening to this song, it's just it's absolutely filth.
And Andy did some terrible things to that guitar.
But don't you agree with me? When you, if I didn't tell you that this is Mors Principium Est, and I don't play that keyboard at the beginning. I start the song when the guitar riff starts, and you hear that. Don't you know it's ending? I know immediately. He has that specific melodic driving sound that nobody else has that sound. It's so specific to him and to Mors Principium Est and how the band sounds. So specific. I don't see anybody imitating.
I don't see any other bands doing it. Yeah.
No, there's nobody that has that specific sound.
Like sharp melodies that come in and.
It's not chunky.
It's not chunky. No, it's like.
It's light. It's clean. It's light. But it's still heavy and melodic at the same time. But the heaviness comes from all the elements coming together, and then the vocals. I felt that on this track, the vocals add a lot of heaviness to the track. Yeah. Because the track itself is very light, is very melodic, but the vocals
also very fast.
Very fast. But the vocals added heaviness.
Also, the vocals were able to keep up with the tempo of the song.
But you need that on a track like this. That's super melodic, superly driven. If you want to inject some heaviness to the track,
you need to make it fast.
And where you're going to inject it is not really coming from the guitar. It's not really coming from the vocals. Was what giving the song a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra heaviness. And normally, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of this kind of situation, but the sound of the guitars mixed in with the keyboards, it's so driven, it's so powerful. It's not it's not heavy in terms of having volume, like being like big, because it's not. The big sound comes from the vocals, but it has so much presence. It has so much soul in the way it sounds. It's just like absolutely filthy track. This song, My Home, My Grave. Man, absolutely incredible. Anything else you want to add?
I think we've gone over everything.
Yeah, as I was listening to this song, I was just like I was traveling with it. It's just a magnificently orchestrated, put together, constructed delivery track. I want to say one thing on the vocals though. This is not an easy song to sing on, because I don't know if you noticed when Ville was singing, there's certain times where he had to pause and then come back again, pause and then come back again. This is a difficult track to add vocals to it.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like it was made as like an instrumental. Yeah.
100%. This track could be played just as an instrumental track. This is a very difficult song to add vocals to it, because the tempos of the song makes it difficult for you to add vocals into it and make it work. And he was able to create certain pauses within the track that allowed the song to work.
With vocals.
Vocals. But it's not an easy song to add vocals to it. It really isn't. Wow. Man. Andy. Brother, love you. Great track. Anything else? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. On that note, guys, come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you.
See you guys.